Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
It's all about the bats for the Baltimore Orioles.
The Padres scoring more runs than any team in the National League is in and over the fence.
No, he pulled it back! He took it right off the wall.
Oh, that was ruthless.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
The Padres' Will Myers continues to conduct a hitting storm through this week and this month. 3-run homer last night, boosting his all-star summer. And Will Myers and the Padres ready for the second game of this abbreviated 2-game series with the Baltimore Orioles. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, a happy Wednesday afternoon to you all. Beautiful day for baseball, and what a beautiful night last night for Melvin Upton. He was up and over both with the bat and up and over with the glove.
He did more things in 3 innings than most players do in a week or even a month. He had one heck of a night in the big leagues. It just goes to show you, Dick, what an athlete he is. Quick to the baseball, ball jumping up. This was almost off the batter's eye in straightaway center field. And then the defense. Playing on the first base side of second base. Dick, you've seen a lot of baseball. One of the best you've seen ever?
I've received emails from the East saying it's the best catch they've seen in all of baseball this year.
And then the strong arm, the accurate throw to double him up. And then, look at on the shortstop side, he's covering on the
routine.
First. Unbelievable. Just a great night all the way around for Melvin Upton Jr., helping out the pitching staff like he's been doing all year.
Meanwhile, how do you stymie this Baltimore Orioles offense? 17 hits last night, 3 of them home runs as they won it 11-7.
They squared up a lot of baseballs last night. Even when they didn't, it found holes. Eric Johnson just couldn't stay on the corners. Here's a team that leads in hits with 4. They rank 4th, first in home runs, total bases 2. The one thing, when you have a slugging percentage that's first in the American League, Dick, when one guy slumps possibly, there's other players there to pick him up. A collective slump is not going to happen with this Baltimore Oriole team. That's how good they are.
Right. In June, they're hitting .303 as a team. Can the Padres quiet that offense today? Well, Manny Machado, he's only 23. He already has enjoyed an all-star experience. We'll get his reaction, his reflections on the All-Star Classic when we return.
Welcome back to Petco Park for the series finale between the Baltimore Orioles and the San Diego Padres. Yovani Gallardo on the hill for the O's and lefty Christian Friedrich on the hill for the San Diego Padres. Well, one Oriole in particular has had an absolutely outstanding season and may actually be back here in a couple weeks for the All-Star game, and he shared with us his favorite All-Star memories. Here's Manny Machado.
Watching the home run derby every year was always exciting. I think that's the best part of the All-Star game, All-Star weekend, watching the home run derby, watching all these guys go out there and hit the ball as far as they can. So it was always fun to watch it.
What about as a player, favorite memory?
Go to my first one in New York. I think it was pretty awesome. A little overwhelming seeing how many people come out there and support us and how many teammates I had with me at the same time. So it was, I think my first All-Star game in New York was pretty awesome.
Well, in just 6 days, we find out whether or not he'll be back here for this year's All-Star game. When we come back, will there be more home runs today? The Padres try to keep the power going. First pitch coming up next.
Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. By Petco, your complete pet store. By Pinnacle on the Park. Make your new home right here. Visit pinnacleonthepark.com for details. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Day baseball in the heart of this fine city. The Padres hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Way back Wednesday uniforms as Christian Friedrich and the Padres take the field on a 76-degree afternoon. Nothing but blue skies overhead and blue ocean out to the west. The Orioles lineup brought to you by Hyundai. And can the Padres snap their 6-game winning streak? Adam Jones leads it off. He led off last night with a home run. Jonathan Scope, then Manny Machado. Chris Davis homered again last night. Mark Trumbo leads the majors with 22 homers. J.J. Hardy robbed by that great catch by Upton over the center field wall last evening. Then it's catcher Francisco Pena giving Wieters the starting day off. Joey Rickard in left field and Yovani Gallardo. Gallardo now back in National League action. He's got 12 career home runs, so watch out.
And left-hander Christian Friedrich, the 28-year-old, making his 9th start. The scouting report, he's got fastball command on both sides and throw the curveball at any time. The success is because he's pounding the strike zone. He's not nibbling for Christian Friedrich. Having himself a good year.
Here comes Jones, the San Diego native. He's played 6 games here at Petco, and he's got 12 hits in those 6 games. A home run last night, 1 of 3 in just a half a dozen appearances here at Petco Park. 28-year-old Friedrich from Evanston, Illinois, and Eastern Kentucky University. Looking for his 5th win of the year as a Padre, and we're set to go in the bright sunshine of San Diego. The first pitch is swung on and fouled back. Well, he didn't waste any time as Buck Showalter's Orioles start tonight with today with a 4.5 game lead over the Boston Red Sox. And he's among the active leaders, trailing Bochy, Baker, and Scioscia in number of wins.
The Mississippi State Bulldog, Buck Showalter.
Chop foul by Adam Jones.
Good baseball man. He's a stickler for details.
Well, he managed the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, and now Baltimore. It's his 23rd season running things in the dugout. He's got himself an offensive powerhouse. Fly ball to right. In comes Kemp, staggers in and makes the catch. Padres defense today brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. And it reads this way with Kemp in right, Upton in center. Boy, felt right at home, even though he's been playing left field primarily throughout the year. Dickerson, called up from El Paso, will work the left field area. Wallace and Ramirez on the left side. Solarte moves over to second base with Will Myers at first. And back behind the plate is Derek Norris. Uniforms from the 1991-2001 era. The pinstripes, slicing foul off the bat of Jonathan Scope. Todd Titchener calling the balls and strikes. Crew chief Bill Miller at first. Brian Knight and Tony Randazzo working the bases. Scope with 3 hits last night, raising his average to .298. Ground ball to Ramirez at shortstop. The toss across, and there's 2 away. Well, let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego County Honda dealers.
Oh, I love keys. Big key for Christian Friedrich. Eliminate the homers. Enough about the homers. I don't want to talk about homers. So hopefully you keep the ball in the yard, and also get the Orioles long man early. Get to that bullpen early. Sure, they've got a good bullpen, but we want to get Giovanni Gallardo out of the game early. I'm talking about the 2nd or 3rd inning possibly, and dig into that bullpen.
I'm going to go back to your home run call. If the Padres hold the Orioles without a home run today, what's the percentage of winning? What do you think?
I would think, they still have a good offense. They're 4th, but I would say it's at 500 or below 500.
Okay, I think if they don't allow a home run, they win today. This is a team, by the way, in June. As a team, they're hitting .303. So watch out. Machado, .330 his average. 0-2, the breaking ball. He's just 3 hits away from the century mark, Machado, and he missed 4 games with the suspension after that fight against the Kansas City Royals. Swing and a miss. Got him with another breaking ball down at the ankles, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Christian Friedrich. Here come the Padres. Upton, Myers, and Kemp in the bottom of the 1st. A day that is a Chamber of Commerce beauty. Most wins by a manager with a new team. Andy Green this year with 33 wins. Dave Roberts leading the way. Scott Service up in Seattle. Ryan Snitker taking over the reins in Atlanta. And here is Andy Green's lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Upton, Myers, and Kemp. Solarte cleanup. Brett Wallace hits 5th. Derek Norris behind the plate 6th. Then Alex Dickerson up from El Paso. Alexei Ramirez in the 8th slot. And Friedrich bats 9th. Giovanni Gallardo, the 30-year-old, born in Mexico but raised as a kid in Fort Worth, Texas. Big years in Milwaukee, and his first pitch is high. Melvin Upton, first time up last night, leading off, drilled this ball. I mean, this was a major league shot. They're now calling the distance 465 feet. Ground ball deep to third. Machado uses that gold glove to take a hit away.
And let's learn a little bit more about Giovanni Gallardo, the right-handed veteran. He's going to make you chase. He is not a hard thrower. He's kind of a soft tosser. It's almost like the fastball for show, the breaking stuff for dough. So he'll try to spot that fastball. He's going to be upper 80s, not much more than that on the fastball. So he'll try to trick you with the slider, the curveball, and the changeup.
He missed a couple of weeks with right shoulder and bicep problems in April. So he's just back in full form. And his first innings have been disasters so far. In his 6 starts, he's allowed 15 hits and 2 home runs in the first inning. See if the Padres can follow suit and take advantage. Myers in the 8th inning, or a 3-run home run for Myers to the opposite field. He's hitting more and more long shots the other way. He now leads the club with 18 homers and is tied with Kemp. 53 runs batted in.
Did you see his reaction when he hit that ball? He didn't think he got it. He thought it was a deep fly ball to the right side. Warning track possibly. He put his head down like, ah, shucks.
Well, a lot of the players, even the San Diego Padres, are amazed at how the ball's carrying this year. And certainly the opposing teams. That ball's hit well to right center field, but Trumbo able to go over into the gap to make the catch for the second out. Here's how the Birds align defensively. You just saw Trumbo in right field, Jones in center, and Rickard will take over defensively in left field for the afternoon. Machado and Hardy on the left side. Scope is the second baseman. Davis at first with Pena behind the plate. 2 outs, base is empty to Matt Kemp. He's had good success against Gallardo, 9 for 25 in their previous meetings with a couple of homers. And takes a strike at 90. Yeah, the Padres and the Orioles split in Baltimore. The Padres looking for a win today to accomplish the same result. Trying to go to right field against that shift. And we're getting ready for the All-Star game, less than 2 weeks away, and so many activities surrounding the entire All-Star weekend, much less the game on Tuesday. Other good news from the Padres, they're going to have the grand opening of the new Padres Hall of Fame on Friday. We'll give you more on that. Center field, but right at Jones. Barely had to move, and the Padres, as did the Orioles, are out 1-2-3.
quality guy that's already been out and seen our drafted guys, and he's been out to AA, and he's here today. He's kind of making his rounds the organization, trying to offer insight at different levels, and it's a nice way to keep him involved in the game, and I think everybody here has profound respect for him. We're excited to have him around.
Well, that was manager Andy Green earlier today on the familiar face of Skip Schumacher, who retired just 2 weeks into spring training as a player, and now he is back as a Padre again, and I'm sure he's happy, even if it's of different sorts, guys.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Everyone who has met Skip Schumacher as a teammate or as opposing player or just as a friend rave about this man's character and his love for baseball. Great to have him part of the Padre family. High fly ball, just missing that one was the cleanup hitter Chris Davis, and when it comes down, there's Kemp to make the catch. Major league pop fly to shallow right. That'll bring up Mark Trumbo, leading the majors with 22 homers. You know, they're courses for horses, and so it is for players themselves. Trumbo has been a liability defensively, but they found a place for him. Baltimore in right field, not a lot of danger there. Short field to cover, and his bat in the lineup has been a big boost to an already home run laden outfit. He's got 22, Davis 19, Machado 18, Jones 16, Scope 13. And they lead the majors in home runs with 123. They've hit 54 this month alone.
It's unbelievable. Not missing many mistakes. I mean, they squared up a lot of balls last night. As a pitching staff, you cannot miss over the heart of the plate. Easier said than done.
Just a bit low, 2-1. He's had success against Friedrich, 3 for 4 and 2 home runs. Three and 1. Traded from Seattle, and that's where Baltimore goes next. They open a 4-game series tomorrow up in the Great Northwest. Padres have the day off before entertaining 3 with the Yankees starting Friday night. Another high pop up that'll go back of home plate into the crowd, coming down.
See, here's the thing about this Oriole lineup, Dick. You look at Trumbo and what he's done, and then there's a kid on deck by the name of J.J. Hardy. Last night he batted 7th, but he squared up some balls too, and of course he was robbed by Melvin Upton Jr. It just goes to show you the depth of Buck Showalter's lineup.
And Hardy has been out of the lineup with injury, but you look at his past record, and hitting 20 home runs in a season was normal for him. In there, strike 3, and Friedrich has his second punch out. Down goes Trumbo. Here comes Hardy.
Well, Mark Trumbo loves the fastball. A lot of these hitters in the Oriole lineup love the fastball. First pitch misses. And going soft, that is a big key. Hitters count, throwing the off-speed stuff for a strike. Soft again. Going up the ladder. Okay, you saw that high pitch? I'm going to freeze you with the curveball slash slider for a strike.
Hardy takes a strike 5 times in his career. Hardy has hit at least 24 home runs with a high of 30 back in 2011. So don't be misled by 2 home runs this year. It's because he hasn't seen much action because of injury. A ball and a strike.
He started off Hardy with a nice breaking ball for a strike.
Breaking ball down at the feet. Well, you can hear them in the background. Lots of youngsters, little leaguers with us out in the upper deck in left field. It's like a beehive out there. There they are.
You can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Right field, that's going to chase Kemp back, and he's got just enough room in front of the track. Another fly ball out. 6 up, 6 down for Friedrich. why they put all this cone around there. I want to get down in there. That's how you attack. You got to go from underneath. You know, bite the bottom and let it drip out. That's what everybody does. Oh my. Padres up, bottom of the second, no score. Jan Solarte will start things. And then Brett Wallace and Derek Norris shift on. Solarte last night, a single and an RBI double. Hitting just above where he finished last year, a .277 average. Well, our intern extraordinaire, Connor Larson, reminds us in light of the Orioles home run happy and leading the major leagues with home runs. It isn't just Baltimore. The entire major leagues are being hit with home run attacks out of play. Get this. Based on the current pace, there'll be over 5,500 home runs hit this year around the majors. Now, that's hard to assimilate, but how about this? That's 1/3 more than were hit 2014, 2 years ago. It's jumped 32%.
Interesting.
What's happening here?
Guys are spending more time in the weight room.
Out of play again. Maybe the ball's livelier. It's happened before.
We've discussed that as well. Tightlier wound.
Kind of like broadcasters. Watch out. Woo, that got up into the second deck in a hurry.
Is tightly or wound correct English? It's not, is it?
Tightly.
Wound tighter?
Wound tightly.
Wound tightly. Wound more tightly?
Well, it can be more tightly, but wound tightly is tightly. Outside 2-2.
You know, they hand stitch those baseballs. It's amazing. Go to YouTube how they stitch a baseball. It's hand stitched.
112 of them.
It's not by a machine. It's remarkable. It really is.
With human hands. High and a full count now to Solarte. Good at bat for Jan Hervis. Gallardo will walk a few, take advantage of his wildness.
And don't be surprised if he'll off-speed you on 3-2.
Outside and a leadoff walk. First base runner of the game. That'll bring up Brett Wallace.
Wow.
Last 3 years, 14 with Milwaukee, last year in Texas, and now in a limited number of games, that ERA way up there.
Yeah, and in Texas, I mean, not bad for an ERA at 3.42. There's a ballpark. It's very, very hot. The ball travels very, very well.
Modest shift against Wallace. Second baseman Scope coming in from the outfield to plant just on the edge of the grass.
There's Scope.
Wallace has had success against Gallardo, 9 for 21. That figures out at 429 with a homer. Nice catch. Sign him up.
Gracie! Mike Grace in mission control. And he's going to give it to a youngster. Good for him.
Pounded foul. Well, the Padres today are going to pretend that the lights are on and it's very dark here. Of course it is, and it's a beautiful sunny day because for whatever reason they've played 25 previous games at day, 25, and they've won 6 times. Can't be. San Diego, sunny San Diego.
Yeah, you know what's weird about that, Dick? Because majority of the time hitters will see the ball better during the day.
Outside to Wallace, and the count 1-2. And the other is to finish a series with a win. 25 series so far. They've won the final game 3 times. I got to beat those odds today, both of them. Not that way. Strike 3 and the first punch out for Gallardo. That'll bring up Derek Norris.
Looks like you got the 4-seam fastball by him. Actually, a 2-seamer up and away. And, you know, trying to sneak a fastball by Brett Wallace is pretty straight. Usually he crushes a pitch like that. But Gallardo gets him with the fastball up and away for the strikeout.
I'm surprised Norris isn't wearing an Aloha shirt in LA today, because he's had a vacation. Didn't off day Monday and didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
For him, that's a holiday. See if he feels stronger and muscles one out of here today. The right on the outside corner. Ten home runs for Norris. He's had a good June, hitting over 300 this month. He goes around 0-2. In the dirt, so they'll have to throw that ball out and start anew, which brings us to an interesting development. On this date in 1913, the Reds played the Cubs, 9-6 Reds. There were no home runs and there were no foul balls. They played the entire game with one baseball.
Come on, what year was that?
1913. But they played 9 innings with one baseball.
That's remarkable. That is remarkable.
I mean, they can't play one at bat with
right.
one baseball anymore. You should have invested in the baseball production business. You know that? You missed on that one.
Any ball that's pitched and hits the dirt out of the game, but yet squared up and a 1-hopper to the shortstop remains in play.
Strike 3 called, taken at the letters. Wallace and Norris strikeout victims, and with 2 away, it's up to Alex Dickerson.
When you don't have the blazing fastball, you better be able to place it perfectly, and that's a 4-seamer right at the belt buckle. Catches the inside corner for Gallardo.
Gallardo is the franchise leader of the Brewers in strikeouts. Soft fly ball on the infield. Easy chance Machado. Leadoff walk. Nothing more. And we go to the third, a scoreless tie. Top of the third inning here at Petco Park, the Padres and Orioles, and we're pleased that Steve Garvey all-star, a Padre hero, joins us, number 6, and we're talking about how beautiful this day is. Did you like playing on the day versus night?
I did. You know, we don't have that many nights off, so to play a Thursday afternoon or a Wednesday was a nice, refreshing break, and invariably it was just like this. Nice breeze blowing, 78, 75.
A little hot in the desert where you live now?
115 today.
Oh, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Steve is the official casino partner. You know, Saquon has been such a great friend of the Padres and
Absolutely.
Fox Sports San Diego in supporting telecast and the entire San Diego Padres season. And, of course, the All-Star game coming up and some great activities that they're sponsoring. That ball hit a long way to left field, and it is hooking into the corner and foul. That had the distance off the bat of Pena.
Well, Dick really doing some exciting things with Saquon, especially a prelude to the All-Star festivities. We're going to do 3 nights, and it's going to be 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I titled it.
What days of the week are that?
It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Okay.
and of course FanFest opens Friday. And we've nicknamed it the Way We Were Tour. I'm going to host some Padre greats and baseball greats. The Tuesday night's going to be a little Padre retro with Goose Gossage and Kurt Bavacqua and some other special guests. Wednesday night will be Dave Winfield and myself talking about the 70s, 80s, and the game today. And then Thursday night will be Reggie Jackson. So we're going to recreate the way he stuck out his hip and deflected the ball in 77.
I remember, that's a great piece of footage. I remember watching that World Series.
Yeah.
So Pena strikes out. Well, that's a Cooperstown lineup. Yourself, Gossage, Winfield, and Jackson. And so now fans, there's a modest fee, I think $25 to go.
Yeah,
and you'll be a Q&A or you get autograph. What can you do?
Absolutely. We'll start out by just talking about maybe with Dave, where he started and his evolution through the minor leagues. Or Reggie Jackson. Reggie likes to talk about coming up when there was still prejudice, not only in society but in the game. And of course, Gossage, you'll start talking about how he struck me out in this game or that game, and Bavacqua will talk about how Lasorda and he have that love fest going on. So it's going to be fun. That last 15, 20 minutes we throw it open to the audience, and people always have that one question.
First ball swinging, or second ball is Joey Rickard, and a soft fly ball to center for the second out.
The one thing that is etched in my mind, Steve, is in 1987 when I was traded over here. You were hurt that year, but you would come to the clubhouse and you'd come in the nice starched polo shirt. Your hair would be combed, and you know where I'm going with this. Rich Gossage would greet you. He would come up to you. He'd rip your shirt out of your pants and wrinkle your shirt. He'd mess up your hair. How you doing, you greaser?
That's right. Unbuckle my belt.
Oh, my gosh. He just wore you out.
And then I'd look at him and I'd call him, "You Pecos Pete looking so-and-so." And you know what it would do to the clubhouse? Everybody would start laughing, and maybe the guys are struggling or a team slump. They'd get on both of us, and all of a sudden they go out and score 8, 9 runs that night, But that's what clubhouse chemistry does, and you know it, Dick, so well.
Well, baseball more than any other sport, don't you think? You played football. Yeah. There isn't time to you can have some fun, but now there's a lot of downtime in baseball to think about some clever, crazy things.
Oh, absolutely. Both good and bad, by the way. Like in L.A., John Stone and Royce used to do pranks. Here we had Bavacqua and other guys who would do things that were defamation.
Gallardo grounds
of your clothes.
6-3. So we'll keep plugging the Saquon Casino events. It's great to see some of the all-time greats of baseball with Steve Garvey and visit our friends at Saquon.
It's going to be a great 3 nights, Dick.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thanks so much. Absolutely.
Take 2 and hit the right.
That's right.
Welcome back. A Ram Trucks Tools of the Trade.
We're going to focus on Melvin Upton Jr. Look at this pitch last night from Ubaldo Jimenez. Bottom of the zone, exit velocity, 109 off the bat. And how far does 109 go? Well, Adam Jones just gives it the old courtesy look off the batter's eye in center field. Home run for Melvin Upton Jr. Just one of the tools of the trade, his shillelagh, that he can do some serious damage with.
I mean, that ball was hit so hard that the estimate of its distance went from 423 to 444 and then later to 465. So I guess even when it hit the wall, it just kept going, because that would make it the longest ball hit by a Padre here at Petco. And you know, it's all an estimate, but it was crushed, no question. Ramirez starts things here in the third. No hits in the game. Just one base runner, the walk to Solarte, leading off the second. Friedrich and then Melvin Upton here in the third. Yeah, before Steve Garvey left, he was talking about right center field and how his biggest hits in his memory were to right center, including that great home run against the Cubs in the playoffs. Also in the All-Star game. And that's right about what he was talking, although that slices back to Trumbo for the first down. Friedrich has a couple of hits and 16 at bats. And again, the fastball not hitting 90 miles an hour.
No likey the road games for Giovanni Gallardo. Only 3 games, so probably some big innings worked in there to skew that ERA.
88 for a strike, 1-1. Melvin Upton on deck. Fouled into the glove of catcher Pena. 89 wins for Gallardo in his 8 years with the Brewers. Taken all the way, strike 3. 3 strikeouts for Gallardo.
Coming up Saturday, Baseball Night in America returns with a showdown between the Angels and the Red Sox at 4 p.m. Pacific on your local Fox station. Then the Yankees battle these Padres at 6:30 p.m. Pacific in a game you can only see on FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Are you going to work that game for Fox Sports?
I'm off.
Okay. Well, we'll be watching. And of course, then right back on Sunday at 1 o'clock for our pregame show, the final game of the homestand, and with the Yankees. So Don Orsillo is going to be calling the play-by-play, and Eric Karros for the former Dodger will be the color man.
Eric Karros, Patrick Henry High School here in San Diego, local kid.
Upton hit it hard the first time, but right at Machado at third. Last 3 years, boosting his average. It started late last season after mid-year. Gallardo challenging him there with 91.
Well, sometimes that fastball, that four seam will sneak up on you if it's elevated up in the zone. Sometimes Gallardo will do that by design. Here comes another high fastball.
Tried to get him to jump the ladder.
See, now I think he's got him set up as Will Myers waits on deck for a nice little slider, maybe down and away after trying to go up. There it is.
Tap. Nice play by Gallardo. If that gets by him, Upton might have an infield hit. Snared it with the webbing of his glove. No runs, no hits through 3. Moments in All-Star history brought to you by Geico. In the 1966 All-Star game, Brooks Robinson of the Orioles tripled off Dodgers ace Sandy Koufax. He scored on a wild pitch. That was the only American League run. The National League would break a 1-1 tie in the 10th inning, winning it 2-1. But Brooks Robinson did win the MVP honors, despite the fact that his American League side lost to the NL.
Okay, here's what I would do if I were a Baltimore Oriole as a position player. I love Brooks Robinson. I love Frank Robinson. Some great teams. In honor of Brooksy, as they call him, the third sacker, I would have a specially made helmet with the short bill that he wore. How cool was that?
Yeah, remember it just
yes.
He reduced that. He thought he could see a little bit better as that ball bounces up to Adam Jones, almost hit him.
A very cool looking helmet that he wore.
Not afraid to be different. He was the first that I can remember in the major leagues that could go into foul territory to backhand the ball and still able to twist and make a throw, sometimes a one-hopper to first base and deny an extra base hit and get an out. Yeah, many of the players do it now, but he was the first that I can remember making that play consistently.
Well, that footage of him in the World Series against the Reds will go down as probably one of the best plays ever at third base. And it just, as you mentioned, him going deep into foul territory and using the turf to his advantage to throw out the runner.
Friedrich behind Jones, 3-0. He might be swinging. No, taking all the way, and it's ball 4, the first base runner of the game for the Orioles. And now come the home run threat. Scope, Machado, Davis, Trumbo. Not that Jones isn't one.
And also breaking the rhythm also for Friedrich. Now he has to go from the stretch. Well, if you want a guy up in this situation, it is Scope, because he leads the Orioles in grounding into double plays with 11.
Well, that's 5 in a row out of the strike zone from Friedrich. Had quite a June, this 24-year-old second baseman with 36 hits.
You know, he's just solid, isn't he, Dick?
Yeah,
he's just very solid.
Well, he fits into a lineup where how can you not hit when you have so much talent around you? You're going to get good pitches. Pops that up and into the crowd. He's been a good daytime hitter as well, leading the Orioles with a .390 average. And the man behind him, Machado, not much behind at .378. Well, he saved his beer and he got a ball. Could have gone right into the cup.
Yeah.
That's the baseball version. And waiter, there's a fly in my soup. Yeah. Usher, that's a ball in my beer.
Now would be a bad time for a set and a throw to first base, just to give him a look-see over there. Adam Jones. Also being left-handed, kind of utilize or keep an eye on that running game, I should say.
Left center field, and there's no one there. It's going to go all the way to the wall, and Jones with his speed is galloping home, and he will make it as the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. A long double for Scope. His 46th run batted in. He's having a big year. First hit of the game produces a run.
Really fastball up right down the middle of the plate. Nice easy swing from Jonathan Scope as well. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, Scope really isn't the home run threat, but the extra base threat goes throughout this whole lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Slugging percentage first in the American League. Home runs, extra base hits. We just saw a mistake crushed right there.
He's now in the midst of an 11-game hitting streak. Knocks in his 46th run. And there's a drive off the glove of Myers, trickling in the outfield. That will allow Scope to score easily. And Machado holds at first base. It's 2-0. Myers just misses, snaring that one out of right field. Machado, another base hit, another RBI for the third baseman.
Great effort by Will. I mean, not much more you can ask from the first baseman. He's way off the bag, way off the line. It's all reaction.
So the leadoff walk of the innings starts things. Jones scores. Now Scope doubles in a run, scores himself on Machado's single. Brings up Chris Davis. Davis hit it a mile high to right field for an out, his first time. Another high pop up. That's off third and out of play. Well, talk about home runs. Since 2012, no one's hit more than Chris Davis. There are the others: Encarnacion, Cruz, Trout, and Cabrera. But Davis tops the list of home run power since 2012.
Those 5 players, they're in scoring position when they step in the batter's box with those type numbers.
Breaking ball fooled him, taken for a second strike. Now you're right. They're like the great basketball outside shooters. You know, they're shooting by the time you open that locker room door. They're firing.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's about the same way. These guys step out of the dugout and you just see home run. He especially exudes power.
You know, and as a pitcher, you cannot be intimidated. I mean, you're going to give up your home runs. You're going to give up your home runs to home run hitters, but still you have to be aggressive. You can't be intimidated and always be pitching around them and put them on base because the next guy might do some damage. Nice.
Weak wave and a miss at the breaking ball. He does strike out a lot. That's his 103rd punch out of the season.
Oh, not the best swing from Davis. All upper body there, totally taking the power out of that swing on the breaking ball down and away.
Mark Trumbo, the right fielder, took a third strike his first time. Two 2-0 Orioles here in the top of the 4th inning. A walk, a double, and a single, producing the 2. This season, 281, 22 homers to lead the majors. He only hit 10 last year, but it was an injury-plagued season for him. Good breaking ball. Well, the ball in the dirt. The runner breaks for second, and Machado's in there. Wild pitch, charge to Friedrich. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays have done the Orioles a favor already. A final in from Florida. They have shut out the Red Sox, as you see, just missing on the diving tag by Solarte. Great effort, but Machado just getting that foot on the bag first. The Rays shut out the Red Sox 4-0 today, so a win by Baltimore would boost their lead to 5.5 over Boston. Still just 1 out, 2 runs in. Machado in scoring position. Ripped foul. Boy, that one shot by the bag about 5 feet foul.
Oh, big difference for Trumbo when he's ahead and behind in the count. He's got to be defensive here. 1 and 2.
Friedrich has proven he can throw the curveball over for a strike and locate it down out of the zone. Well, when this kid's ahead in the count, he's hit 325, behind in the count 237. So Christian Friedrich has the upper hand right here.
A little low.
I don't see how guys lay off that pitch. I mean, it's so close, but it goes to show you these guys are stars when it comes to hand-eye coordination and knowing the strike zone.
Yeah, you could set up a test, set up an imaginary strike zone or your strike zone, and throw, lasers throughout that. And they could pretty well call their pitches high fly ball deep to left, and then when it comes down, it's another Baltimore home run. Oh my! I mean, they're not only long distance; their height is the light tower height. I mean, it's just mind-boggling the power of this team. Number 23 to boost his major league lead.
Well, and a chance to put him away because he quickly got ahead 0-2. There's the curveball. Tried to make him fish. Isn't going to bite. That was a nice foul off right there to stay alive. How he takes that pitch? Well, he's got a good eye, and he's got a good bat and a quick bat on that pitch in. He turned on that very, very quickly.
23rd homer, and now 58 runs batted in for Mark Trumbo. What a pickup for the Orioles. Now they've matched the all-time Major League record for most home runs in the month of June with 55. The most for any month is 58, and Baltimore shares that record with Seattle. Nothing but the home run smiles in that Baltimore dugout this year. 4-run inning, and that's what they do. They score in bunches. Last night it was the 7-run inning. The 6th was the 7-run inning, which gave them an 11-1 pad, even though the Padres came back to score 6 times. 7 left San Diego 4 runs shy. Hardy flied to right his first time.
This Baltimore Oriole team could be labeled the lumber company with the way they swing the bat, because the stolen base category, just throw it out the window.
Went around, strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning, and the 5th in the game for Friedrich.
This Orioles team only has 12 stolen bases. That's a team 12.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Hey, but you don't have to steal when you're rounding the bases.
That's right.
Hard work having to run that hard all the way from first to second.
Why?
When they hit them the way they do, they just jog to second, and then they jog to third and to home. Unreal.
And they do it against everybody.
Kind of takes strategy right out of the managerial hands, doesn't it?
That's the Earl Weaver school of managing, right? Sit back and wait for the 3-run shot.
Pena, he flirted with a home run his first time up. He's had only 29 at bats all year. 6 hits, one of those a home run. One ball and 1 strike. So in the inning, a leadoff walk to Jones. Scope RBI double to deep left center. Machado singled him home with a drive off the glove of Will Myers. After Davis struck out, Trumbo blasts his 23rd home run of the year deep to left. And just like that, it's the Orioles in front 4-0. 410 feet. The estimate on the home run. Well, the thing about the home run is it hits so high as well. I mean, that just really tells you the power.
Pretty much fastball curveball today, Dick, from Christian Friedrich. But you're right, the trajectory of the balls off the bat, tremendous.
High pop up, home plate, right on the dish. Look at that. Not very often you see a ball right up the elevator shaft, and Norris makes the play. But the Orioles have 4 on the board. Western Metal Supply Company building down the third base line as Will Myers. Yes, indeed, living up to the hype, the American League Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. And there are his numbers from 2013. He played 88 games. That was the second half of the season. Won the American League Rookie of the Year honors. 76 games so far this year. And look at what has happened. 18 homers, 5 more this season. Same number of RBIs. So you measure what Myers has done in less than a half of this season with a Rookie of the Year production, and you realize that he is having some sensational season, especially here in June.
He's got to be Player of the Month in June, don't you think?
Why not? Of course, a lot of this Oriole team has had a good June as well, but I mean, he's led the league in home runs, RBIs this month. What else do you have to do?
You know, I had a nice, interesting conversation with Will before the game, and he said something that was very, very cool, I thought. He said this game of baseball changes so quickly. You can have 3 bad at-bats and then make a difference in a ball game your last at-bat. He goes, that's what I thrive on. That's what I really want to do. I want to be a game changer my last at-bat of a game. And that tells me the kid wants to be in a pressure situation.
I like it.
Yeah. And he noted a couple of games in the past where, hey, do you remember the game in Colorado when I was 0 for 4 and then I finished the game 2 for 6 with a 3-run home run? And I said, you know, that's a good point. But his point was it was late in the game, at-bat that made a difference in the outcome. And that really tells you something about an individual. They forget about all their previous at-bats,
right,
but it's the last 1 or 2 that makes a difference in a win or a loss.
Well, that's the player in basketball. You know, who wants to take the last shot? And some of them, they're looking the other way. Don't go throw the ball to me. I don't want it. Let him shoot.
Right.
3-2. Well, if this is a sample of the future of Will Myers with the Padres, we've got a lot of excitement ahead. Talking about this young guy from North Carolina. Ooh, had a cut there at a high fastball. They're not rose-colored, but the scene in front of those glasses is beautiful. Right center field and shallow. Trumbo for the first out. That'll bring up Matt Kemp, who has feasted on Oriole pitching in his career, hitting .396.
And Will kind of pulled off that breaking ball a little bit. And that's all it takes, just a little bit, that front side to open up for the easy fly ball to right.
This year, hitting .500. But in his career, as he looks at a bouncer, .396 overall and over .400 against Gallardo. Shift on. Only Davis on the right side.
There's Davis, all by his lonesome self.
Gallardo now with the luxury of working with a 4-run cushion, has allowed only 1 base runner, Solarte's walk in the second. Misses wide. And 3-0 to Kemp. And ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Second free pass from Gallardo with 1 out brings up Solarte.
Follow Padres Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
A little dredging work going on out there.
Yeah, I got is that a tugboat? Barge?
I think that's Kind of cleaning out the channel there.
Yeah. Drudging, isn't that called drudging when they drudge the like a lake or something like that? Dredging. I'll get it right.
It's close enough. Solarte walked the first time, and 5 straight out of the zone from Gallardo, so Pena goes out to just change the rhythm. Yeah, so many fans follow the Padres down Tijuana and south of the border. Of course, they root for their own, and here is one, Gallardo, a native Mexican that grew up in Fort Worth. High fly ball slicing off to the left. That's going to make it into the crowd or not. Into the crowd, and young Rickard, who is not familiar with the Petco surroundings, does he make the catch?
I think they're going to call fan interference maybe. The umpire signaled out, and then he signaled with his hand. He grabbed his other hand, indicating that the ball was possibly in play, giving.
Let's see it from this angle. We don't get to see that corner.
That's an out.
Yeah, it is. The fan reached into the field of play. Not that Rickard would have caught it anyway, but might have. And so fan interference, and Solarte is out. Yeah, he's acting instinctively. I mean, he wants the souvenir.
Now, I can only imagine what Andy Green is arguing. He wasn't camped under it. He was sliding. He was still on the move. So whether that comes into play, I don't know. Now, I can understand if a guy's camped and the fan comes over, right, to interfere. But Rickard was on the move. He went into a slide, and I'm guessing that's what maybe Andy.
Can you presume he's going to make the catch?
Right.
And I don't know how New York's going to be able to resolve this for the umpires. They all had a shot at it. But
because
to be certain,
the fan did clearly reach into into play on the playing field with the extension of his hands and arms.
You can't presume he would catch it, but you can't presume he wouldn't catch it. So I think that even though it would go against the Padres, I got to call out. He does have his eye on the ball all the way.
And the bottom line is that's a catchable ball.
It's just fortunate that he's okay, because he went in hard. Catcher spikes against that wall or underneath the padding, and that can be hazardous duty. Meanwhile, one of the Padres scouting department officials has run down to give that fan a contract. That was a heck of a catch. Without a glove, right? Or did he have a glove?
Yeah. I think it was barehanded grab, you bet.
Here's another angle.
That's a very catchable ball.
Yep, he's out. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I do too.
So we return to the action with Kemp at first base and 2 outs. And Brett Wallace, the batter. Well, he's obviously a Padre fan, and his family Padre fan. He just, hey, what fan wouldn't? Here comes the ball. I'm going to try to catch it. You know.
I think that's Steve Bartman down there.
That ball gets away, and that'll move Kemp into scoring position. Well, maybe Brett Wallace could pick up, start chewing away at that 4-0 lead. Wild pitch is the call. Ball getting away from catcher Pena. And speaking of catchers, if you notice what Austin Hedges is doing down with the Chihuahuas at El Paso, huh? Wow. I don't care what level of baseball. This man is really swinging a hot bat. He had 2 more homers last night. He's had 8 homers in the last 10 games. And he's knocked in 32 runs in the last 28 games. Austin Hedges. And they said he couldn't hit. Well, you got glimpses of that in spring training. He looked so much better, didn't he?
Absolutely. Going to winter ball, I think, helped him out quite a bit.
And full credit as well to the instruction from Alan Zinter. Worked hours and hours with him daily to help him during the spring training.
You know, I'd like to see one swing and cut the Oriole lead in half right here off the bat of Brett Wallace.
Just missed inside. 2-2. So the Padres lose their challenge after missing on the fly ball interference, fan interference. Weak roller to the first baseman Davis. He'll take the bag himself. And the Padres through 4 innings without a hit. And the Orioles have 4 runs.
My friends been hitting me up and asking me am I gonna make the team and all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling them I'm probably gonna be on vacation this year, but it's good for the city. I think obviously knowing how big of a city baseball it is, how big baseball is here in San Diego, and how it was for me growing up. I vaguely remember the '92 All-Star game. I remember my parents had a big old towel. I think that's what was the giveaway at the All-Star game in '92. So I remember that, and it's been 24 years. So I think the city of San Diego deserves it.
Well, that was San Diego native and Morse High School alum Adam Jones, who is a 5-time All-Star himself. Mark, how much would it mean as a player to be an All-Star in your hometown?
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's one thing to make it to the big leagues, Michelle, and then to be an All-Star coming back to your home. I mean, it's just, first of all, it's good and bad because you're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I mean, the cell phone's going to be going off and people are going to be pulling you every which way. And, but, you know, knowing the type of kid Adam Jones is, he would do it the right way and enjoy it and be quite a treat for the Morse High School graduate.
Well, I like it. You got the sense of it in that soundbite that he's very proud of being a San Diegan and roots for his hometown. Even though he's wearing a Baltimore uniform, he cares about San Diego. And a swing and a miss by Ricard. And one away. Now Friedrich has the strikeout ball going. That's 6 of them. Brings up Gallardo, the pitcher. Off day tomorrow, fans, and the first of a 3-game series over the weekend with the Yankees Friday night, 7:40 game time. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. Colin Ray, 4-3 against Nathan Eovaldi of the Yankees, 6-5. And the Saturday game on Fox Sports 1 with game time at 7:10, and then Sunday we'll be on there at 1 o'clock for the pregame show. Final game of the homestand. Gallardo grounded to short his first time. Career 12 home runs for this guy. He knows how to swing the bat. He's got 83 major league hits. Tails away, 3-0. Three balls and a strike. Gets a call there, Friedrich.
You know, I was just looking up the 2003 draft when Adam Jones was drafted by the Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
He was taken 37th by the M's.
Line drive, whistles to left field. Yeah, Gallardo can swing the stick.
Yeah, he can hit it.
One out single. And our greater coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Yankees coming to town with Carlos Beltran, 366 average this month with 7 homers. Chase Headley, good to see Chase back. He's got 4 dingers here in the month of June. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, 8 home runs this year. 695, closing in on the 700 mark.
And a very slow start for Chase Headley as a pinstriper. In 2003, the Padres had the 4th pick. They chose Tim Stauffer.
Oh, 4th pick overall.
4th pick overall. Oh, no.
Backswing gets Derek Norris again. Well, that's the problem with a catcher. You want to be in there tight behind the hitter, and yet you get in too tight, and you're risking this. Boing. Fortunately, the swing of Jones, most of the momentum was out of it on the follow through. And good old helmet.
And Adam doing the veteran move there, taking a little bit of extra time for Derek Norris to gather himself.
Jones walked the last time and scored. Four runs, 4 hits for Baltimore. San Diego, no runs, no hits. Here in the top of the 5th, 1 out, and the pitcher Gallardo with a line single at first base. That's the play with the 0-2 advantage. The pitcher coming to the right-handed hitter from the left-handed side with that breaking ball low and in. It's been a good device for Friedrich for most of the afternoon.
Now he's got so many avenues. Go back with the breaking ball, maybe a change up down and away. It looks like he's going in here.
The same pitch. Cubs beat the Cincinnati Reds again today, 9-2. They're just romping at the Great American Ballpark. Arizona has a 4-2 lead at home against the Phillies in the 4th. Dodgers play at Milwaukee tonight. San Francisco at Oakland tonight. Swing and a miss. That's the breaking ball, low and in. 7 strikeouts for Friedrich. Well, this rooftop shot, nice, huh? Well, it reminds you how beautiful it is at Pinnacle on the park. Soak it in. One of the beautiful sights.
Yeah, that's a great view from the positive tree. Got to stay positive. Max Michalak planted that seed long time ago, and it's come to fruition, bearing fruit.
A positive tree?
Yeah, Max Michalak, our producer today.
What are those? What's that?
Oh, he's on the positive tree.
Well, what does the fruit look like? I mean, it bears.
Short, portly, and bald.
And not quite ripe yet.
Right. But plenty of potential.
There you go. Scope, an RBI double the last time, and he rips that one. Is it fair? Yes, into the corner. On his horse is the pitcher Gallardo, and he'll pull up on the ground rule double as that one bounced over the short barrier down at the 336 sign. And Scope is just wearing out Padre pitching in these 2 games. 2 doubles today. He had A 2-run double, another double, and a single yesterday. 4 doubles and a single in the 2 games.
You know, it's interesting because the first at bat 6-3, Friedrich got him with a fastball, kind of jammed him. Second at bat, the double was an off-speed pitch for a strike. That looked like an off-speed pitch as well. So just catching too much of the plate against Jonathan Schoop on that off-speed.
With 2 outs, the pitcher Gallardo was running all the way, might have scored, so the ground rule double's a break for the Padres. The Orioles denied a 5th run. They're going to walk Machado to load the bases. So Machado is the first recipient, no, the second walk from Friedrich today. And so the bases will be loaded for Chris Davis. So you're not doing yourself much of a favor, other than the fact now that Friedrich is lefty going against the left-hand hitting Davis. But the base is full of birds. And our Arco top-tier player profile features the 23-year-old Machado, 2-time All-Star already. Seems as if he's bound to be a part of the American League team here in a couple of weeks. 2-time Gold Glove winner.
Perennial. Right, that describes him. Every year he's going to be an MVP candidate. He's going to probably be an All-Star. He's going to be up there for the Silver Slugger.
And the reason 2014 vacant in his portfolio is injured most of the year. Well, here's Davis, the slugger with 19 home runs. He's flied out and struck out. And yesterday he hit one of those Ruthian jobs. Double deck high and plenty long. And right behind him is the major league leader in home runs. As he rolls that one, did he get it in fair territory? Yes, in time. Throws it away. 1 run scores. Here comes another, and out at the plate is Schoop. No, they're calling him safe now. I wonder if he hit home plate. So Friedrich making a good play, getting the ball before it kicked foul, but in short distance he handcuffed Myers with his throw. And to the moment, 2 more runs have scored, and Andy Green doesn't have a challenge. He's already used it.
Yeah, a couple of things here. Being left-handed, he's got to field it and then spin all the way around. Now the runner, you know, it looked like he was out of the running lane.
Well, that could be an argument.
Yeah, I think he was out. It's right on the line. Fair ball. Now watch where the runner is. He's out of the lane right there.
Is.
Davis was out of the running lane. He was on the fair side of that chalk line, and this very close, but Schoop touches home plate with the hand. Derek Norris misses with the tag. Good slide.
So at the moment, 2 runs have scored to make it 6-0. No RBI. They're going to rule that an error all the way.
Andy's got a legitimate gripe here because, as we saw in the replay, watch when Davis is about maybe 10 feet from the bag. He goes inside the line there. See? He bellied into fair territory.
Now, does the ball hit Davis at all? That would have.
Right there, foot is fair on the other side of the line. Other foot is fair on the inside part of the line.
Doesn't the ball change direction there? Do you think it clipped him on the left shoulder? If it did, then he should be out because he's left the, you know, the first base umpire. That's his call. He left that 3-foot lane. Let's see if it hit him. A closer look. No, it looks like it passed cleanly. Just a matter of a fastball from a short distance, and Green is picking up emotionally here on his argument that he has been tossed. It'll be the second time the young manager has been ejected this season. And he's fighting for a couple of runs here. That's a very big call in the game. If he's out for running outside that lane, then the inning's over and it's still 4-0. Bill Miller is the crew chief. Green getting his money's worth. It's another reason to stay with us after the game. We'll hear from Andy Green in his post-game commentary, and he'll give us a full report on just exactly how he saw it and what happened. Oh, he's not through yet. Yeah. Oh, now he's really going at it. Looks like Miller is saying, why don't you come out here and call it? And Mark McGwire going to go out and salvage anything serious happening. Well, good for Green.
Absolutely. Got a legitimate gripe. And watching the play develop, I'm really surprised. You know, Bill Miller, the first base umpire, he's concentrating on the plate first.
Right.
The home plate umpire, Todd Titcher, should have a good view of down the line.
But he's concerned about runners coming in too. So there's, you know, it's one of those situations where a lot of the umpires really weren't able to focus on the fact that he did leave the 3-foot line. And Green's argument, I can only imagine, is why do you even have the lane there? If you don't have to stay in it, why not even wipe out the lanes? But neither umpire really saw it clearly, and so they can't call something that they didn't witness. So it counts for 2 more runs, 2 unearned on the error by Friedrich. First and third for Trumbo, blasted that long home run his last time. Mark McGwire now will be in charge as the bench coach of managing the team the rest of the way. No RBIs for Davis. Error all the way on Friedrich. It's that frustrating part about this game where the manager knows he's right, but if the umpires don't see it, and he'd already used his challenge, so they couldn't go back to New York, and maybe had they, it would have been reversed. Or at least they would have called interference on the runner outside the 3-foot lane. Line drive right to Ramirez for the final out. But a couple of unearned runs for the Orioles, as if they need those. It's 6-0. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the new Padres Club Card today. By Jack in the Box, taste the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack before it's gone. And by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 2 left for the Orioles. No runs, no hits, an error, and 2 left for San Diego. Gallardo with a 6-run lead. Starts with Derek Norris here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Norris, Dickerson, and Ramirez to bat. Took a 3rd strike his first time. Pretty good pitch, 1-1.
You know what I miss? Umpires and managers getting into confrontations like that, and the manager blowing a gasket. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, that's what the challenge system's done. It's taken that away. The only time basically we have any arguments is with the strike and ball calls.
Yeah.
And we don't get the plays on the bases, the bang plays. Here, I was thinking in the back of my mind of, the Billy Martins and the Earl Weavers and the Lou Pinellas.
Sure.
I could just see sweet Lou going out there and just taking his foot and wiping out the entire 3-foot lane, 45 feet of chalk, saying, if you're not going to call it, let's get rid of it. Pick up a base and throw it. Yeah, Green did a good job of supporting his team there.
I was glad to see that. Good for Andy doing that. And you know what? Sure, he used up a challenge on the foul ball down the line. Okay, but that's the chance you take. That's almost like saying, well, if this guy would have done that, you wouldn't have seen that ball hit to the gap. No, you can't do that. That's not the way it works. You use your challenge when you feel fit. But here's what I don't understand.
Down goes Norris again.
How can an umpire not grant the wish of a challenge of a manager when he was clearly out of the baseline? Clearly. If they want to get it right.
You see, this is the whole problem with we're trying to make this imperfect world perfect, and it just doesn't work that way. And we're trading off trying to get everything right with all the delays and the rhythm of the game, and taking way too long to challenge when they do challenge most of the time. And a pitcher getting iced, for a couple of minutes out there while, you look at a play, and because we can slow it down to these just fractions of a second, and the spikes almost touch the base, and if we could put a credit card between that spike and the base, and let's go to New York and come on. I mean, some of the plays, is it a home run, not a home run? Is it fair or is it foul? The plays at home plate that count for runs. Okay, I'll buy that. But every time there's a close play, we have to have a challenge. See, I'm just worried about if my great-grandfather comes back who loved baseball, and I want to be able to explain the new game. And it's basically the same, but this is going to be a tough one to explain to him.
Sure.
DH is tough enough, but you mean you don't even have to bring a glove, and you can still play and hit?
Did you ever see that movie Scanners when the guy's head explodes? That's what's going to happen to your great-grandfather when you try to explain this game of baseball, how much has changed over the last 50 years.
Unfortunately, not that much. As Dickerson, who popped up his first time, fouls it back. It's 2-2.
And once again, I did not go to umpire school. I have tremendous respect for umpires.
I do too.
I really do. But what I'm saying is, home plate umpire Todd Tishner, he's got to worry about home plate and the runs coming home, right? But the play is at first base. How can he not recognize or say something to the first base umpire, say, hey, you know what? He was out of the line. Maybe we should review this.
Looper over short. Will that fall? Hardy can't get it, and Dickerson has a base hit. That's the first hit for the Padres today. Soft single hit limply over the shortstop's head.
Who says you got to hit the ball on the sweet spot? That's a little cutter / slider in on Dickerson. And even J.J. Hardy can't get to that one. Placed perfectly in shallow left center field.
Yeah, Dickerson, that's what that strength will do for you. There's Ramirez. He lined out to right field his first at bat. Forces Gallardo to pitch from the stretch. He's only had 3 base runners, a couple of walks earlier, and now the single Dickerson with 1 out. Up the middle, and might have been deflected. No play at second, but over to first in time. As the play made by the second baseman, Scope. And Dickerson moves into scoring position.
David Ortiz, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and all of baseball superstars come together for the primetime event that will light up the summer right here in San Diego. It's the MLB All-Star Game right here from Petco Park, July 12th. And you can see it only on Fox.
Pinch hitter for Christian Friedrich is Brian Schimpf. Chance to pick up the run, break the shutout bid of Gallardo, leading 6-0. Popped it up, shallow left center. Hardy calling and makes the play. First hit of the game for the Padres, but they still trail 6-0. At Petco, and here's our Harrah's game summary. Jonathan Scope got it started. He's had 3 doubles and a single in the series. Jones races around to score, and it was 1-0. And then the blast by Machado off the glove of Myers, and it was 2-0 Baltimore. They didn't stop there. Up came Mark Trumbo, and he hit a blast high, and deep. Number 23 to lead the major leagues, and just like that, the Orioles had jumped in front 4-0. They had a couple on the under-earned runs with the throwing error by Friedrich, and we move to the top of the 6th inning, and Brad Hand comes out of the Padre bullpen. He'll face Hardy, Pena, and Ricard. Hand's done a solid job, and he's a change of pitcher, always brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Where are his numbers?
Oh, a lot of work for Brad Hand. 37th game for the left-hander.
That's among the National League leaders. Hey, look at the stirrups going for Brad today.
Going old school. I love it. That's
a little high on the cuts, but that's
going
okay.
Back to the 70s.
Never wore mine that high. I love the stirrup look, though. Pulled foul. Hardy is flied out and struck out.
I remember wearing those like in Pony League and Colt League back in the day. We used to cut the bottom of the stirrup and insert elastic so they would go as high as you can. You'd even show some elastic.
Inside.
I think he's wearing them backwards though, because the shorter part goes in front. He's got the high part in the front and the shorter part in the back. Should be reversed.
There's a punchline in there somewhere, but shot to second. Nice play by Solarte. Quick hands. That was aimed for right center field. Boy, Hardy is hitting tough luck in this series, hasn't he? He was victimized by that great catch, Melvin Upton, over the center field wall last night. Pena has struck out and fouled out. He's playing the same position as his daddy, Tony Pena. That's a fair ball. Norris offline, and a base hit, infield hit for Pena. Swinging bunt.
It just seems like when it rains, it pours. You throw a good pitch, it's topped. Derek Norris doing everything he can to try to throw out that runner, and the right move by Will Myers coming off the back to cradle that one to keep it in front of him.
Rickard is flying to center and struck out swinging. Hitting .267 on the season. Part-time has hit 5 home runs. Ball and a strike. He's 25, Rickard. He's a Rule 5 player.
Yeah, pretty good defensively. Buck Showalter will insert Rickard when it's a close game defensively in the outfield. Shore up that defense.
Played his high school ball in Las Vegas at Bishop Gorman, and then went on to Arizona, and the Wildcats they're down to the final game of the College World Series. Arizona and Coastal Carolina.
I'd like to see Coastal Carolina walk away with the championship.
Yeah. Some of your Wildcat Arizona buddies wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, who would have thought of all the great baseball programs,
right,
you don't put Coastal Carolina in that category? And it just gives hope for all the other schools around the country that have good programs that are kind of lost in the haze created by the big boys. Popped up, might be a play. Not very high, and it's into the dugout away from Myers.
I know Alan Zinter and Trevor Hoffman are not happy with my statement regarding the University of Arizona. Both grads of that college.
Mm-hmm. It's really a terrific event. It's become bigger and bigger every year. It's a beautiful stadium in Omaha.
When they build a venue just for that, you know it's a big time event. Huh?
Don't the Kansas City Royals AAA team plays there, don't they?
They might.
I mean, they have the Omaha AAA team. I would guess it's such a good stadium. Swing and a miss. And down goes Rickard. First strikeout for Hand. And that'll bring up the pitcher Gallardo. He rifled a single to left field and scored a run his last time.
Well, it's come to our attention that, and I want to make myself clear and correct myself, but that play that we were discussing down the first base line there is not a reviewable play, not a challengeable play, we've come to understand. So we'll have to find out postgame. Stay tuned for Padres Live, the postgame show. Just what Andy Green was asking Bill Miller, the first base umpire.
It's one of those, it's like an accident. You know, you can do something wrong in your automobile and get away with it. But when there are 2 or 3 people doing something wrong, then you have a collision. And there was a case where the umpires were strapped. They all had a responsibility. So there wasn't one umpire that was in position to help out either on the call, either the plate or first base umpire. I mean, the other men were out of the picture. You know, the man behind the plate, he's got runners coming in. He's got to make sure he's ready for a play.
And you know what? If that's the case, Dick, I would, even though that's the case, I would say, hey, you know what? I'll take a second to go visit with my counterparts, the other umpires, and see if they saw anything. Even though it's not video reviewable, I'll still go ask around. And hey, if they don't see anything, hey, well, we have to leave it at that.
Broken bat looper to right. That's falling in a hurry and for a base hit. And running all the way is Pena on to third. On a broken bat hit by Gallardo. He's 2 for 3. And we warned you, he's one of the better hitting pitchers in all of baseball, even on the broken bat. The other ball was a shot to left. Okay, here's the play in case you're just joining us. Tough. He gets it before he goes fouled, then throws the ball over the shoulder of Davis. See, the plate umpire, he's occupied. He's got a runner coming in there. And handcuffed. It looked as if Myers didn't even see the ball because Davis was outside that 3-foot lane. The reason for the lane being there is you've got to stay in it the last 45 feet to first. And Andy Green tossed in his argumentation process. But got his money's worth. Good for him. So first and third, 2 outs to Adam Jones. Jones has flied out, walked and scored, and struck out the last time.
Well, a big hole up that middle of the diamond there with Alexei Ramirez playing over towards that hole, the 5.5 hole.
Slap foul. Jones, one of 3 Orioles with a modest hitting streak going. He's hit safely in the last 9 games. And the fan and the automatic smile, even though it hurt to catch it. Scope has a couple of hits. He's hit safely now in 11 straight. And Machado, he's got a base hit, so he's collected at least 1 hit the last 9 games.
Oh, getting in there nicely, Brad Hand. Trying to jam Adam Jones. And another nice grab by that youngster.
Wearing a U.S. baseball cap and shirt. 2 outs, runners at first and third here in the 6th inning for Baltimore, and they lead 6-0. And if you're just joining us, Mark Trumbo's 23rd home run of the season, leading the major leagues, also tied the all-time major league record for most home runs in the month of June. 55 for the Orioles. Oakland hit 55 in '96. And they've now tied Oakland. 2-2 now to Jones. Jonathan Scope. What a series. 5 hits. 4 doubles. 3 runs batted in. Scored 4 runs. Up the middle, there's no one there. It just trickles on out to center field. Another run scores as Pena can walk home. It's 7-0. Yeah, again, you don't have to hit it right on the nose. You just find one of those open spots, and that's exactly what Jones did for his 50th RBI this year. Get this Baltimore offense. And as we see the results of just a 50 hopper out to center field. In the 4 games that the Padres and Orioles have played, Baltimore has scored 7, 7, 11, and 7 runs. Man, 7-11, huh?
Yep.
It's good in Vegas sometimes if you're at the right table.
Sure.
It's really good when you're playing baseball.
Boy, I tell you what, ear-to-ear smiles from the pitching staff as well when you're getting support like that. Hey, you give up a home run, a 2-run shot, chances are you still have the lead to work with.
Scope, pair of doubles and a ground out. First baseman Myers led right to the bag for the final out. But the Orioles add on. It's 7-0, middle of the 6th at Petco. San Diego, and time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Yovani Gallardo's in the driver's seat today, allowed a blue pit in 5 innings and a couple of walks, no runs, and enjoys a 7-0 advantage as he aims for his 3rd win of the year.
And once again, not a hard thrower, maybe touching 90, but the off-speed stuff, staying out of the heart of the plate, breaking some bats.
The Padres scored 6 runs late last night to make it interesting, 11-7. See if they can get something going with 4 innings to go, and they start from the top of the order with Upton, Myers, and Kemp here in the home half of the 6th. Hit the ball hard the first time, but Machado threw him out, and he bounced to the mound the last time. Through the hole and into left field. There's the first solid hit off Gallardo. Upton's aboard. See if that lights the flame here in the 6th.
Right down the middle, first pitch, hacking. Picture perfect swing. We saw one last night. Hey, you get the first pitch fastball, why not?
Myers has flied twice to the right fielder, Trumbo. That's where he hit his home run last night, a 3-run shot to right. Pretty good pitch, but doesn't get the call. Inside, 2-0. Myers, along with being the home run leader and tied for the RBI lead on the club, has scored the most runs, he has the most hits, and he has walked the most, 29 times. He's a box filler, statistic filler. That breaking ball catches the inside edge. Eleven home runs this month, most ever by any San Diego player in the month of June. Off the shin guards, Pena.
You see Gallardo doing a fine job keeping those pitches down, in and out. And after that foul ball, Gallardo rubbing up the onion there, giving his catcher a little bit of time after that foul tip.
Leadoff single for Upton to open the 6th inning. Padres trying to get on the board against Gallardo, trailing 7-0. Full count. Well, the pinstripe unis worn by the Padres at the end of the last century and the start of this one. And we're going to see the pinstripers from New York on the weekend, although they'll be in the road grays. There are a few seats left, so come out and join us for the weekend. Big crowds expected all 3 games. Rolled foul.
Here's a little nugget for you regarding the Yankees. Babe Ruth, the uniforms he wore never had the NY on it, or New York. The aways, the homes were plain, just white with the pinstripes, and the aways said Yankees. So he never wore the NY, or he never wore the New York on the chest.
And when you see him circling the bases and there's a number on his back, that meant it was late in his career after 1927. Ball 4, and the Padres have a couple of men on here in the 6th. 3rd walk from Gallardo. Pushes Upton to second base and brings up Matt Kemp. One swing.
Yep. Got to get in slam range.
Put the Padres back in this one. Kemp has relinquished the home run lead. He's been the top home run hitter all season long until this flurry of power shown by his teammate Myers in June. He has 16 and is tied with Myers with 53 runs batted in, and takes a low ball one. You'd think these are the Baltimore Ravens the way they score. They've scored 7, 7, and a 7 again. I don't know how to take the 11. A couple of safeties, I guess, in that 11-7 game. A ball and a strike. Kemp against the 30-year-old Yovani Gallardo. Upton at second, Myers at first. Not his pitch there. So the Yankees in Friday and Saturday night, and don't forget on Friday night, that's that wonderful cocktail table, the history of the Padres, with great photographs. It's a giveaway. I mean, it's a terrific item Friday.
Makes a great gift if you're a Padre fan, right?
You bet. I mean, that's a keeper. If you're a Padre fan, it takes you from the Pacific Coast League Padres and Ted Williams all the way through all the great moments, the playoffs, the World Series, Tony Gwynn, right to today's Padres. Hand-picked out of all the great photographs available, hand-picked, so you get the very best of the best. That one will nudge foul into the lower deck off to the right.
Okay, time to find your partner because it's getting close to get on the bus. We got to get back. Remember those days?
Strike 3 called. A little inside, but Kemp caught looking. Fourth, now fifth strikeout for Gallardo.
Well, the front door breaking ball misses. Not a strike. Matt doesn't like it. Nothing he can do about it. Nothing we can do about it.
Jan Solarte has walked and fouled out. That was the play down the left field line where the fan interfered, and even though the ball went into the crowd, the out was called on the interference, fan interference. And he takes strike one. A reminder, along with the opening of the series on Friday with the Yankees, also at noon on Friday, there will be the official grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony for the new Padres Hall of Fame out there in the left field corner. And then at 7 o'clock before the game Friday night, the induction of Ted Williams. Here's the play, the fan interference. There's no question. As Rickard came over, the fan said, hey, that's my souvenir.
Yeah, clearly had a chance. Clearly reaching over onto the field of play.
Swing and a miss, and Kemp and Solarte strike out with the first two men on. And it's up to Brett Wallace. Again, Tampa Bay shut out the Red Sox today 4-0. And that's to the advantage of Baltimore in the American League East. They can jump up 5.5 games over the Bo Sox. Toronto leading at Colorado 4-1 in the 8th. Arizona with a 4-3 advantage. Philadelphia at home in the 7th in Arizona. (2-0) to Wallace.
Hey, don't look down the NL East. But the Marlins going in today only 4.5 out. That's an interesting division there. Washington, 46 wins. Miami, 41.
Yeah, they've had a surprisingly good season. And Stanton really hasn't started to hit yet. Wallace hits it high to center field. How far will it go? Jones going back, and touch them all. 3-run shot for Brett Wallace. Number 5 for Wallace, and the Padres on the board ×3 on one swing. It's 7-3.
2-0 fastball. Wallace gets extended, and Adam Jones can only turn around and watch this one leave the ball yard. Who doesn't like the 3-run shot?
Boy, the order of the day, not only long home runs, but hit very high. Derek Norris has struck out both at bats. And Buck Showalter is making the slow walk toward the mound. No, wait, that's his pitching coach, not Showalter. Just to settle down Gallardo, who was cruising along on a one-hitter coming into the 6th inning, but he gave up a single to Upton. Myers with a walk after striking out Kemp and Solarte. Wallace a punishing 3-run homer.
So Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, having a chat as Odrisamer Despaigne heats up quickly.
Wallace's home run measured, or at least estimated, at 410 feet. So the Padres within Grand Slam range now. 7-3 here in the 6th. A couple of the former Padres out in that Baltimore pen. Odrisamer Despaigne and Brad Brock. Two and one. They shift now on Norris. Brandon Maurer for the Padres getting loose. Fly ball softly to left. Rickert there to make the catch. That's it for the Padres, but a single for Upton, a walk to Myers, and Wallace brings him around on this home run to straightaway center field. It's 7-3 Baltimore.
sound like an idiot and say something completely wrong. Does this vest make me look fat?
Sports and life parallel, and we just know that, hey, you know, you get knocked down, you get back up, and you get back in the race.
If you want to be a baseball player, you go to baseball school, and baseball school is here in the minor leagues.
That was a sneak peek of this week's Best of Padres POV, presented by Sequan Casino. Friday after Padres Live, right here on Fox Sports San Diego. You don't want to miss it. Good stuff.
It really is good material, and you're going to get the best of the best in the next edition. As Brad Hand goes to work second inning, Machado, Davis, and Trumbo in the middle of the Baltimore lineup. Padres cutting into that big 7-0 lead, now down to 4-run advantage at 7-3, thanks to Brett Wallace's long home run. Machado struck out, singled in a run and scored, and he was intentionally walked the last time. Popped up, might be a play. Norris coming back to the screen and has just enough room. Well done. One away.
That takes great concentration. Gets rid of the mask. That ball's going to come back towards, and then at the big tuna, getting caught in the net. But he hangs on to the pill. Two-handed grab. Cradle that glove. Great concentration, Derek.
That'll bring up Chris Davis. He's flied to right and struck out and was safe on the throwing error by Friedrich. And those 2 unearned runs in the 6th inning now play very big. Instead of a 5-3 game, 7-3. That was the controversial call, and Davis involved in it. He pulls that sharply foul. His ball topped along the first baseline, and Friedrich did the right thing. He got to it just as it was going to roll foul. 2 men were on, but he was only 45 feet from Myers and handcuffed him with the throw. Meanwhile, Davis had made it tough because you had to throw around him, and he was out of the baseline. And on that play, Andy Green argued and then argued some more and was ejected, and then he really argued some more. 1-2 the count. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And second strikeout. That'll bring up Mark Trumbo. Shot to short. Ooh, nice play, Ramirez, and he gets Trumbo. That was a hot shot to short for the 6-3 out. Stretch half of the 7th in San Diego. 7th, and it's time now for our Fan Diego fans of the game.
Oh, I love homemade signs. Good for them. Having a good time at the ball yard, showing off their artwork.
Some of the summer camp kids out here to enjoy baseball. Fantastic baseball afternoon. And the Orioles going for the 2-game sweep and trying to extend their winning streak to 7. Padres have cut a hole into the shutout with a 3-run homer from Brett Wallace, and now they go to work in the home half of the 7th. Dickerson, Ramirez, and the pitcher's spot.
Well, look who's on the hill.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who throws everything, Dick.
Yeah. From every angle, every speed. Oh, Draysomer Despaigne. And the first pitch is swung on and fouled off by Dickerson. Despaigne just called up from the minors. This is only his 6th appearance. With the Padres 50 games, I mean, he could be very, very good, and then there'd be times you wonder, who is that on the mound?
Never throws 2 pitches in a row. Same location, same speed. He'll mix it up with the best of them.
Dickerson collected the Padres' first hit off the starter Gallardo, a bloop hit to left center. This is a shallow fly on the infield, and the second baseman Scope takes care of it. 1 out.
Just like that pitch there, he just flipped up a little wrinkle, and you could see by Alex's swing really breaking down, and then the hands dragging, working underneath it for the easy pop-up.
Ramirez line to right, grounded to second. Yeah, Despaigne gives you a man who can do a lot of things. I mean, he can be your long man in the bullpen. He can give you an occasional start if you're in desperate straits.
Every team needs one, don't you think? Right?
Yeah. He's a perfectly constructed pitcher for just that.
Like Carlos Villanueva for the Padres. In a pinch, he could probably spot start for you.
Nice play by the fan there in the right field corner. .94 in the fastball. His former teammate Amarista apparently will hit next. Brad Hand giving the Padres a couple of innings of relief work. Pulled fair past Machado down the left field corner. Ramirez on his way for 2. He's taking a turn. He's going to gamble on 3. Oh, put on the brakes, and a good thing he did. A good aggressive turn at second base. He was going to make sure that Rickard could come up with the ball cleanly, and if he had any trouble at all, he was going to head for third, and that's the right play with 1 out. But wisely pulled up.
And also with the Oriole lead, no use of trying to stretch that into a triple and get thrown out, as Dick mentioned. You need multiple base runners. You need a big hit. You're in slam range. No reason to try to stretch that.
4th hit for the Padres this afternoon, the first of Despaigne. And here's Amarista pinch hitting for Brad Hand. Ball to left, routine. Rickard there, and no advance by Ramirez. 2 away. Melvin Upton with a chance to pick up a run here, make it tighter on these Baltimore Orioles. So I didn't really get a chance to complete on Friday. It's a big day because they're going to have the ribbon cutting for the new Padres Hall of Fame, and then before the game, it's a 7:40 game on Friday night. Part of the ceremonies will be the induction of Ted Williams as a San Diego Padre from the PCL days. If anyone deserving of being in a Baseball Hall of Fame in this city. It's the Thumper, the Splendid Splinter. Upton sends a soft fly ball to right, and the inning is over. 7 complete. Baltimore 7, Padres 3.
Top of the 8th inning. Steve and I are working on the post-game show for you. I think one of the transcendent moments perhaps of this ball game came in the 5th inning after the Padres walked a hitter to get to Chris Davis with the bases loaded. Then all of a sudden the wheels fell off for both the team and for the umpiring crew.
It did. As a base runner, you're supposed to stay inside that batter's box. You see that second line there when you're running down the line. Right there you see Chris Davis move over inside the base path. That blocks Myers from being able to see the ball. It's supposed to be an automatically out, runners go back to their bases. The umpires clearly missed that one, and that's why Andy Green right here gets tossed out, and rightfully so. The umpires missed that. They should have gone back and taken a look at that on their own.
All right, so hopefully the Padres can put something together here. Guys, when we see you on the post-game show, we're going to hear from Andy Green, hear what he thought happened right there. Plus, we'll get you some highlights and get you set up for the Yankees series, which will begin on Friday. Dick and Mark.
All right, Mike and Steve, we'll look forward to your post-game report. It's always outstanding work. Brandon Maurer comes in for the 8th inning. Hardy, Pena, and Rickard scheduled to hit for Baltimore. Maurer on the season among the leaders in game appearances. 39th time he's taken the hill. All out of the bullpen. Opposing batters hitting just .248. 47 strikeouts in 36 innings. Hardy chops that foul. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon. Had a couple of hits last night, a couple of singles, scored a couple of runs.
Well, the righties off of Maurer hitting .307, lefties at .186. Boy, he's got that good fastball that he could bury in to try to tie up right-handed hitters.
Sails that one to Kemp in right field for the first out. And we're going to check the Cholula flamethrower.
And with Brandon Maurer, that spells power. Maurer power up to 96. That's hot sauce, yo. On a day game, it's extra hot.
But you're not. Oh, you are a little breathless. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Your fan base loves it when you get breathless. You notice that?
Well, I do that.
Ground ball whipped to show. Ramirez knocks him on his backside and throws out Pena. I'll tell you, they call third base a hot corner, but this afternoon it's been Ramirez at shortstop. They've been blistering the ball at him, and hot hands, and well done.
Goes down to eye level to catch that ball. And remember, the back end of the play is just as important. The hot smash gives him a little bit of time to set his feet, square that shoulder, and fire a strike across the diamond.
Yeah, Trumbo blistered one at him at the end of the last inning. 2 away Rickard has flied out and struck out twice. And that's a strike.
Whoa. Way out in front of the changeup. He literally pulled that ball over the Orioles dugout. He was so far out in front of that changeup.
Ball, 2 strikes. Again, Kemp has to move toward the line, and there for the 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Will Myers will be leading it off. Padres baseball brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Padres trailing 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Myers, Kemp, and Solarte scheduled against Odrisamer Despaigne. Gave up a double to Ramirez the last inning, but no other damage. And Myers, a couple of fly ball outs and a walk. He scored one of the runs on the 3-run homer by Brett Wallace in the 6th inning. Pretty good pitch, but doesn't get the call. Despaigne 2-0. Sounded fast and was 94 miles an hour. Falls behind 3-0. Kemp with a, or Myers with a walk today, is 30th. Kemp on deck. There's a strike. Kemp and then Solarte here in the 8th. And another walk for Myers.
Well, this is exactly what the Padres need, base runners, especially with nobody out. Will Myers leading it off here. Odrisamer Despaigne trying to locate the fastball. There's a little spinner right there missing. Okay, now it goes in his favor. Will Myers, and he'll take that one very nice. 3-1, 4-1. Take your base.
Kemp has lined to center, walked, and struck out. And as we've mentioned before, Despaigne can look like a world beater, but he can really disappoint you at times as well. Make a mistake here, Kemp could put the Padres right into this game.
And he's not helping his cause. You see the way he reacted after that pitch was called a ball, staring at the home plate umpire, Todd Tishner. Umpires don't like that.
That's a strike. I know you like to hug umpires, but
I do.
They're really a sensitive group, aren't they?
Well, that's why they need love. Okay. A little encouragement here and there. It's a tough job. It's a tough gig.
Hey,
I say
a lot of people have tough jobs. They don't get hugs. Come on now.
Well, that's what's wrong with our world. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Yeah, got it.
Burt Bacharach said it best.
Didn't he? Even when raindrops keep falling on your head, the love works.
And you're used to that.
What a great performer, great songwriter, and great performer.
Very talented.
He makes the, I don't know if he still does, but he used to make a summer home down here during the Del Mar season, and you'd see him on the beaches with his family. 1-2.
Here's what the Padres exactly need. A lot of pitches, deep counts, hitters counts. As possibly Buck Showalter, we saw him looking at his lineup card, kind of squirming a little bit in action in that Oriole bullpen.
Got him. Second time Kemp has gone out on strikes, one away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Perfect wind amount unfurl our great flag. What a beautiful picture. Jan Solarte walked, fouled out, struck out. Base hit. Myers on his way to third on a sharp single to right off the bat of Solarte. Oh, that brings the tying run into the on-deck circle. And we'll see how long Buck. Well, we don't have to even finish the sentence. Here he comes, Buck Showalter. Going to do a double switch.
Getting on top of that high pitch there. Good looking swing by Jan Hervis.
And a pitching change for the Orioles. Their 7-3 lead in jeopardy with a couple of runners at the corners for the Padres. Only one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be right back.
it's exciting to be back here. So I'm just pretty excited to get in the game and see what happens once the game starts, obviously. But it's definitely a different feeling come back as a visitor.
So Brad Brock is a Baltimore Oriole. Did some good work with the Padres. They traded him away in 2013 after the 2013 season. Padres got right-handed pitcher Devin Jones, who is no longer in baseball, and Brock has continued on with a nice career. Look at the numbers this year, 5-1, and opposing batters hitting only 155.
Yeah, he's been lights out. Fastball, splitter, slider, herky-jerky motion, mid-90s, get up to about 97, and he has inherited 15 runners up to this point. Only one has scored, so chalk up 2 more inherited runners. Well, he's got some work to do with 1 out.
Runners at first and third. Brett Wallace, the batter. Last time up, sailed a home run over the center field wall. A 3-run shot. Matt Wieters enters the game, and he will be batting in the 9th spot in the Baltimore order. Put another swing like the last one on it, and we got ourselves a dandy. That'll sail out of play. Let's go back to the home run swing.
Fastball, not a lot of movement, and when you get the big boy extended, he takes it to El Centro, Aracalle, for the home run.
Myers at third, Solarte at first. Jam goes to the shortstop. That's one. Back to first. A double play. Well, Brock does the job with runners at first and third. Delivers a double play ball, and we go to the 9th. Trumbo adding to his home run total, leads the majors with 23. A long shot, long and high to left field in the bleachers. Part of the Orioles home run attack that leads the major leagues. A 7-3 game. Padres with a home run too, and that was the big one from Wallace, a 3-run shot. As Ryan Buchter, and we talked about Brad Brock, what a great job he's done for the Orioles. How about Buchter for the Padres? 36 appearances, fine ERA of 1.60, and opposing batters 167 against Buchter.
Hey, all-star numbers, no doubt about it. But we know that the middlemen, set-up pitchers do not get the love they deserve. It's always a closer, starters, to fill out the roster when it comes to pitching for the all-star team.
Other changes with Buchter coming in. Solarte moves from second over to third, and Adam Rosales takes over at second base. Wieters just into the game on the double switch. Switch hitting catcher. Orioles 7 runs on. There's Solarte now at third and Rosales at second. 7 runs, 8 hits for the Orioles. 3 runs, 5 hits for the home team. And like so many teams in the major leagues, once they get to the 9th inning, their record unblemished in securing the win, and so it is with Baltimore. They're 39-0 when leading going into the 9th inning. I think even more significant is the stat, how are you doing after leading after 7 innings? And the Padres are there with the best of them. They're 28-0 when they lead after 7 innings. Two and one to Wieters. Adam Jones and then Jonathan Scope to follow. 3 balls and a strike. It'll be Colin Ray on Friday to open the Yankee series against Nathan Eovaldi. Drew Pomeranz and Novo will clash on Saturday, and Perdomo gets Sabathia on Sunday. And 2 low, ball 4. Leadoff walk to Wieters, and we go to the top of the order, and Adam Jones. And a reminder that our game this afternoon, and with the bright sunshine, it's as beautiful as ever, presented in HD by Sony. Adam Jones singled in a run his last time. He's also walked and scored. A home run and a walk last night, scored a couple of runs. I like the fact when he was talking about as a kid when the Padres last hosted the All-Star game at, was it Jack Murphy then, or was it Qualcomm? It was Qualcomm, and he was just a young boy. But what he remembers about it was that they gave away big towels, and his family got a towel. But obviously, he's been a baseball fan all his life. Right center field and shallow. That's falling, and for a base hit. Upton tried to deke the runner Wieters, hoping that he would retreat, but he didn't fall for it, and he moves up to second base on the blue hit by Jones. The 9th of the afternoon for the O's.
You know, when a team is swinging the bat extremely well, they're going to square up a lot of hits. And they're going to get jammed, and they're going to find the holes, and it's exactly what's happening with the Baltimore Orioles. We've seen some broken bats find the holes up the middle, and that one dumps in there for a knock.
Scope, again, 5 hits in the 2 games of the series, 4 of them doubles. Little League star in his native island of Curacao, making it all the way to the bigs. They won the Little League World Series back in when he was an 11-year-old. Well, tapping into that market in South America, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, and there's A.J. Preller, that was his strength coming over from the Texas Rangers. And we're coming up on the international signing period. I think it's next week.
Yep.
See how the Padres do. They, from all indications, Peter Seidler, Ron Fowler, and the executives of the organization have opened up the coffers. There's going to be some money spent as the Padres build toward their future. They've had a limited success with the international players, while others have thrived. Ball gets away, but not far enough for an advance.
Hey, flood the minor leagues with the young talent, right?
We've had a great draft. The June draft selected a lot of talent. And there's, you know, some young talent. Austin Hedges comes to mind immediately. And Hunter Renfroe just lurking there at AAA.
Stock up on the pitching, because that's always a commodity that you can throw in there and get some talent, right, via trades.
Get Andrew Kashner back. Get Tyson Ross back. And the count now full to Jonathan Scope. Let's go to our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Let's give it to Jonathan Scope. He's had quite a series. 2 for 4 today, knocked in a run, scored 2. 3 for 5 last night. Scored 2 and knocked in a pair. Out of play. Trying to think back in the heyday of the Orioles back in the 60s, 70s, who wore number 6? Did Paul Blair wear number 6?
Well, that's a good question. We could look that up, Professor.
You talk about a guy who could get up over the wall. Jim Palmer, who's the TV announcer now with the Orioles, and mentioning how Blair could really get up there. There's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. A couple of walks and a dying Quayle single, and with no one out, the Orioles threaten to score more. Scope to first, Jones to second, and Wieters over to third. Well, I guess my mind hasn't totally failed me. Paul Blair did wear number 6.
Good call.
Now, if I just could remember the names of our neighbors, and please my wife. You get that too, you know. Football, especially, you memorize 100 names and numbers every week. But then your neighbor comes over and you have to say, what was her first name?
Yeah. I've always pictured when I was a kid watching TV, and then of course growing up as a teenager and in my early adult years, is seeing the name and the number on that uniform and seeing the font of the number, and that's how I've remembered names and numbers over the course of my lifetime being a fan.
Well, that's what my cure is for knowing your neighbors' names. When they come to a party, is you have bibs, you know, you have numbers. And the Smiths always are the 3s, and then the Joneses are number 4s. And when they come over right away, then, hey, number 4, hey, the Jones are here, honey. Let's get the barbecue going. Yeah, better yet, you put names on the bibs. That'd be a little obvious, though, wouldn't it? I mean, the game would be just that they get it. And you know what? They'd like that, too, to have their own bib number. Anyway, Machado has scored a run, knocked in a run. Bases full. Padres infield has to play halfway. And that ball is ripped to left. Will it go all the way? No, it bounces one hop into the short porch. It's a ground rule double. 2 more score. It's 9-3 as Machado delivers again. 3 RBIs today, and he now has 49.
Well, he's just an all-around good player, Manny Machado. He's got some fans here in attendance, and this swing here, or the barrel of the bat staying level through that zone, not an uppercut swing. And then the follow through, didn't hit it on the sweet spot, but he's so strong, this youngster at 23 years old, and he adds on and pads that Oriole lead.
He's tied for second in the American League for the most multi-hit games. Here's another 32 multi-hit games from Machado. Well, a couple of walks set the table, and the soft single from Adam Jones. Nothing soft about that one. A 2-run double, second and third. Still no one out here in the 9th. Chris Davis. He's wearing the collar today. 0 for 4 and a couple of strikeouts. For a guy that swings like that, those infielders got to be on your toes. They're in tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Orioles have now scored 34 runs in the 4 games with the Padres. That's a strike, 1-2. Nine runs on 10 hits for the Birds. 3 runs, 5 hits for the home side.
And this makes it even tougher for Ryan Booker because no force play with the runners at second and third, and still nobody out.
Two and 2. Mark Trumbo on deck. There's just no resting spot in this batting order. I mean, you look in the on deck circle, and it doesn't matter if you're looking now from the cleanup hitter to Trumbo who hits 5th, or if you're down around the pitcher's spot. They just parade one power hitter after another. That's in there, strike 3. First out here in the ninth. The third time Davis has gone out on strikes.
Pinpoint control down and away right at the knees, and one of the best pitches in baseball. Big out for Ryan Buchter.
Here's Trumbo, the 2-run homer back in the fourth. He's also lined to short and grounded sharply to short. Infield pulls in even tighter, just a step off the grass.
I'd like to get a picture of Mark Trumbo and Ryan Schimpf with their back in their jerseys. Trumbo Schimpf.
I like that. Yeah, you did go to bed late last night. You're right.
I've got seafood on my mind.
Hey, not often we get a midweek day game, huh? A little barbecue going tonight?
Absolutely. I think this might be the old pitch around, and mentioned earlier about the force out, right? So you load them up, 1 out, you get a force out at any base, a little easier. They could back up at double play depth.
J.J. Hardy is next.
Oh, he's getting a little froggy there.
Yeah, went after a clear ball away, 1-2.
Okay, now it kind of swings towards Ryan Buchter to where he could make him fish for something.
Throw that clear ball down at the feet, see if he goes after it. Scope at third, Machado at second. 2 more checking in for the Orioles here in the ninth. That one caroming out of the upper tier down into the first row of the second deck. And that young fella, that's why you bring your glove. Good on you. His day is complete.
Oh, yeah.
Shot past third. Boy, that Trumbo, that ball flies off his bat. 2 more runs scored. Trumbo on his way to second. It's 11-3. Third and fourth RBIs of the game for Mark Trumbo. He's now at 60 on the season. He's challenging Nolan Arenado for the major league lead in RBIs.
Just seems that this Oriole team does not miss the mistakes. Whoa, that ball seemed like it was by Solarte before he even reacted to it. Oy vey.
One of the few times that Ryan Buchter's been cuffed around, and he's not going to pitch to Hardy. Put him on, and that'll mean the 8th man to bat in the inning. The 2 walks have come around to score, and they're going to take their chances with friends. Well, it's going to be the pitcher's spot, so we're going to see a pinch hitter.
Nolan Reimold is grabbing a bat.
We saw him as a pinch hitter last night. He struck out. So the Orioles, we've sung this refrain too many times in the 4 games. They score in bunches. 4 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, Singleton in the 6th. They just throw that away, throw it back. And then 4 more here in the 9th. And Buchter, a rare time when he hasn't just mowed down the opposition. Those things happen.
Park. Nobody sees sports quite the way Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. The brains to know and the guts to say. Catch Colin and Jason for FS1's new daily sports talk show, Speak for Yourself. It's weekdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
And be alert, fans. You never know when the Mud and Egg Nerve show is going to appear. They're working on it.
It's in the works. Yeah, you bet.
It's going to open off Broadway.
Way off Broadway.
Moose Jaw is the first to bid. Kevin Quackenbush. He faces Nolan Reimold. J.J. Hardy intentionally passed, so runners at first and second. Still only one out here in the ninth, and 4 more runs in for the Orioles. Quack making his 34th appearance. And the pinch hitter Reimold delivers a single to left. They'll move up 90. Bases are loaded. Still only one out, and the ninth man comes to the plate, Joey Rickard.
You know what? I look at number 14 on Reimold's jersey.
Merv Rettenman.
Merv Rettenman.
Yeah. It is funny how you do associate a number, and it's really a test of a talent of a player, that he's around long enough and produces long enough that you remember his name and number. Yeah.
That's great. Love it.
Like I remember your number I do remember it was 55.
619.
55. Oh.
Right. That was one of them. You're right.
Easy. I just pick a number, right? Yeah. And you were. So bases loaded for Joey Rickard. 1 out, 4 runs home, and he's 0 for 4 today. They made their hits count. Just 12 hits, but 11 runs have come home. Could be 2. There's 1. Back to first. Not in time. Another run. It's 12-3.
Well, we know that Rickard can run. As soon as that ball was struck, it's a good feed by Rosales. Ramirez, he's got the good arm, but just too quick for the Padre attempt at the double play.
So Trumbo scores to make it 12-2. That's 37 runs in 4 games, over 9 runs per game scored by the Orioles against Padre pitching. They just an awesome lineup, as they say. So the 10th man to bat, Wieters, he started things with a walk, and then he pops this out to shallow left where Dickerson squeezes the final out. And on to the bottom of the 9th inning, 12-3 Baltimore. As the big inning prevails again for them, the Padres all 3 runs on the 3-run homer by Brett Wallace. Looking ahead, Friday night, the opener of the Yankees series, Nathan Eovaldi, 6-5 for the Pinstripers, but a high ERA, 5.19. Helen Ray, 4-3, and he too is ERA setting just above 5. 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego for Padres Live, the pregame show. Game time at 7:40, and don't forget, part of the ceremony's pregame will be the induction of the great Ted Williams into the Padres' new Hall of Fame. The ribbon cutting at noon on Friday, and it's going to be something very special. Oliver Drake, we see him again. He's pitched in 3 of the 4 games of this series, the former Naval Academy star. And he'll face Norris, Dickerson, and Ramirez in the bottom of the 9th inning. Norris has struck out twice and flied to left. Drake last night worked an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 runs. The 3 runs on that Will Myers home run. And Norris tags into 1. That's going to go on 1 hop against the boards and left. And that carry him quickly and hurrying into second base is Norris with a double. I mean, that bounced so perfectly back to Rickard that Norris said, I better get on my giddy up here to get a 2-bagger.
Got the hands in nicely. Where does the ball make contact? On that sweet spot. And then drives it through and gets extended.
That was Reimold in left field. He's gone over to left, and Rickard to right, replacing Trumbo, and Flaherty's now in at shortstop. Manager of the Orioles giving Trumbo the rest of the afternoon off. He did his job. 2-run homer and a 2-run double. Dickerson, a looping single off starter Gallardo in the 5th inning. That was with 1 out. That was the first Padre hit off the starter, Giovanni Gallardo. He has popped up twice his other 2 at-bats. And again, these at-bats are important, especially for a young player like Dickerson. He's trying to make enough of an impression that he's going to stay up here. He has no designs on hurrying back to El Paso. The more he can do here, even in a game like this, 12-3, impress your boss. Norris with the leadoff double out at second. And a walk to Dickerson. So 2 on to open the 9th off Oliver Drake.
A lot of fastballs, a lot of split finger fastballs from Oliver Drake. He will get a grounder.
Alexei Ramirez, a line to right, grounded to second, and double to left. Again, the Padres with the day off tomorrow, but the Orioles will climb on a plane and fly up to Seattle and begin a 4-game series with the Mariners tomorrow.
It's my favorite jersey right there. I love that warm-up jersey. Early 80s.
And apparently they'll go to Seattle with a 5.5-game lead over the Red Sox, who lost to Tampa Bay 4-0 today. Foul ball into the first row.
Ooh.
Yeah, when you're young, you can trip over those seats. It doesn't hurt a bit if you get a souvenir. 2 strikes to Ramirez.
Knock some teeth out diving for those foul balls.
Oh, that doesn't matter if you can get a baseball. Come on now. 2 out, no outs here in the 9th. Phillies have rallied at Arizona. They were significantly behind. Now they lead 8-7 in the 8th inning. Toronto beat Colorado 5-3. Ground ball fair past first, and that's into the right field corner. Norris will score. Dickerson will hold at third. It's 12-4. A double for Ramirez. He has back-to-back doubles. Give some of the 25,221 here today to cheer. Still no one out here in the ninth. Ramirez, the first Padre with 2 hits.
Take what he gives you, the fastball away, and he flirts with the first base pillow just fair.
Adam Rosales bats for the first time. And fouls it back. Rosales last night came up in the 9th inning and delivered a 2-run double as a pinch hitter. He's a base hit or 2 away from hitting that 200 mark. Good cut.
Michael Givens.
He pitched last night. Inning in the 3rd. Allowed only 1 hit. 2nd and 3rd. A run home. 12-4 Baltimore. And the Orioles have beaten up on opponents at home. They've won more games than any National League team, 31. But on the road, they came in here 14-17, very ordinary. Won last night, 11-7, and lead 12-4 today. So we've seen the Orioles and their offense, thinking back through the season and the ball clubs we've seen, Mark Grant. Your best team.
You know what? I like the Nationals. They've got so much depth. And you know what I was thinking, Dick? It's funny you say that because nobody knows how the postseason is going to go. But, you know, it's funny. These two teams not far from one another.
Beltway series, maybe.
Yeah.
Ground ball to Machado, and he throws out Rosales for the first out.
But don't you agree with me? This Orioles team has the depth that the Nationals do. The rotation of the Nationals sticks out a little bit more. But when you talk about lineups, I think you can compare these guys a little bit.
I like the Giants.
They always do something. Yeah, I like the Giants too.
They play at Oakland tonight. They're a win away from 50 for the season. They just seem to find a way to win, and they're doing it without Hunter Pence now.
Yeah. And you know they have the wherewithal where they're going to make a play on somebody.
Yeah, there's going to be some interesting activity in the trade market and free agency. Melvin Upton has grounded out a couple of times, flied out, and singled and scored. 1 for 4. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. And he chases that split finger, 0-2.
You know, we haven't seen Texas yet.
No, that's right.
Texas is pretty darn good.
Yes, they are. The starting play today, the Rangers had more wins than any team, 51. The Cubs with 50. Giants 49. Those are the leaders. Struck him out. 2 away. And here's Myers. Will has flied to right twice and walked twice. Chance to pick up a couple of more RBIs from Myers. He is tied with Kemp for the club lead, 53. And there it is, a line drive to right field. That's up the gap, all the way to the wall. 2 more runners score. Myers into second. It's 12-6, Baltimore. And how about Will Myers? 55 runs batted in.
That's a player of the month stroke right there, ladies and gentlemen. Will Myers, boy. What can you say? Picture perfect swing, great result. You go, big boy.
Pitching change for the Orioles. The Padres now trail 12-6. Padres with 3 runs here in the 9th inning, and Will Myers, just as they performed last night, a 3-run home run late. That was in the 7th inning. Padres then scored another 3 in the 9th inning. 3 here in the 9th this afternoon. Myers driving in 2, and get this, fans, Will Myers, as we check on the new pitcher, Michael Gibbons for Baltimore, with 2 outs and Kemp at the plate and Myers at second base. But with those 2 RBIs, Will Myers now has 21 extra base hits here in June. That's a Padre record. His 33 runs batted in here in June breaks the tie with Dave Winfield in 1978, the most runs ever driven in the month of June. There's the man who's done it. Yes, sir. That's your NL Player of the Month.
No question about it. Couldn't happen to a better kid. He is locked in.
1-1 to Kemp.
And you know what? If there are people watching that have a vote, you know how we get that vote every month where you get the
yeah.
If you don't vote for Will Myers, I think something's wrong.
I mean, what do you have to do? He's now led his league this month in home runs and by far runs batted in. Kemp was swing and a miss. And the Padres now are down to their final strike. Tough. You score 7 last night and lose. You've got 6 this afternoon and you're down by 6. Fly ball right center on his horse is Jones, and he makes the catch on the run, and the ball game is over. Outscoring the Padres again, the final, Baltimore 12, San Diego 6. Mike Pomerantz.
Nick, thanks. Some impressive firepower for Baltimore. When we see you on the post-game show, you'll hear from Andy Green on his ejection, and we'll talk about the New York Yankees coming to town on Friday.